The front entrance of Minghao Central Hospital looked less like a medical facility and more like the epicenter of a national crisis. Reporters stood shoulder to shoulder, stretching their equipment cables across the pavement while producers barked frantic orders through headsets. No one knew exactly what had happened to actress young Mei Mei, but rumors had ignited at such speed that by the time Yulong's agency announced an urgent press conference with the Yang family in attendance, the story had already ballooned into a multi-layered scandal that the entire country was watching. Inside the hastily prepared conference room, the tension felt dense enough to cut through. The Yang family sat at the front table, their exhaustion visible from the dark crescents under their eyes to the tightness in their posture. Mei Mei's mother held a balled tissue, pressing it rhythmically between her fingers as if grounding herself, while her father kept both hands flat on the table, jaw clenched, trying to absorb the responsibility of a crisis they never asked for. Their presence alone signaled that this was no ordinary PR cleanup. Married celebrities faced backlash all the time, but when both sides of the family appeared together under hospital lights, the situation had clearly crossed into dangerous territory. 3 days earlier, a grainy 16-second clip surfaced online, showing what appeared to be Mei Mei yelling at a young staff member on set. Though the video quality was poor and the angle suspiciously obstructed, it spread with frightening speed. Social media users dissected every pixel, every tone shift, every shadow, determined to turn the clip into definitive proof of her alleged arrogance. The hashtag, accusing her of abusing power, trended within hours. Anonymous accounts claiming to be former staff joined the wave, offering dramatic but unverified stories about her supposedly explosive attitude. By sunset, her name was being dragged across every major platform, and the comments grew increasingly hostile. As the attacks intensified, new allegations appeared, claims that she mistreated junior artists, that she used Yulong's reputation for favoritism, even that she had bullied a younger actress into tears. None of the claims included evidence, but the internet didn't wait. Worse, someone leaked that she had recently visited a maternity clinic, and strangers immediately weaponized her pregnancy. Some accused her of using a baby to keep Yulong. Others said she was pretending to be pregnant to manipulate public sympathy. The cruelty was relentless and unfiltered. Under the pressure, Mei Mei's emotional state deteriorated rapidly. According to her family, she barely slept, ate, or spoke. She cried repeatedly, apologized despite doing nothing wrong, and clung to her phone as if unable to look away from the avalanche of hate directed at her. Early this morning, her body gave out. She collapsed in her home, and Yulong, who had returned from filming only a few hours earlier, rushed her to the hospital. Doctors diagnosed her with severe exhaustion, dehydration, and acute stress response. Then came the revelation that sent shockwaves through both families. Mei Mei was 3 months pregnant, and the stress had already put her pregnancy at risk. By noon, Yulong had made a decision that went against every piece of advice his agency gave him. He would speak, not through a polished statement, but through an unfiltered, face-to-face confrontation with the media and the nation. He owed that to his wife. When he finally entered the room, silence fell immediately. He looked exhausted but composed, the solemnity in his features making even the most aggressive reporters hold their breath. He bowed deeply, longer than expected, longer than required. It was not the bow of a celebrity. It was the bow of a husband in crisis. "Thank you for being here," he began, gripping the microphone. His voice had the calmness of someone who had rehearsed words he never wanted to say. "We are here because the situation surrounding my wife has escalated beyond anything reasonable or human. Young Mei Mei is currently hospitalized due to the severe stress inflicted by false accusations and online harassment." Reporters exchanged tense glances as it continued. The video that went viral is edited. It was created from multiple unrelated clips, filmed across different weeks, and altered to distort her tone. The staff member shown in the footage has already confirmed that she was not being yelled at. "We have obtained the unedited recordings and will submit them to authorities." A wave of murmurs rippled through the audience, but Yulong didn't pause. Following that clip, anonymous accounts fabricated stories about her behavior on set. These were coordinated attacks. Yesterday, the source of the video contacted us and demanded payment in exchange for deleting everything. When we refused, the harassment intensified. His jaw tightened as he spoke. Strangers began insulting my wife's pregnancy. Yes, I am confirming that she is 3 months pregnant. She did not make this public. We intended to announce it when she was healthy and ready. Instead, she read comments calling our child a tool and an inconvenience. The room went completely silent. Mei Mei's mother lowered her head, shoulders trembling. Her father placed a firm hand over hers, though his expression remained hardened by anger. This morning, Yulong said quietly, "My wife collapsed. Doctors told us that stress was endangering both her and the baby. She is frightened, emotionally overwhelmed, and blames herself even though she did nothing wrong." His voice cracked slightly at the last sentence, but he steadied himself. This press conference is not about pity, it is about truth. The harassment she endured is beyond what any person should face. We will pursue legal action. We will hold accountable anyone who intentionally spread defamation. This is not only for Mei Mei, this is to prevent similar attacks on others in the future. Mei Mei's father then leaned forward toward the microphones. "My daughter is gentle, quiet, and respectful. She has never raised her voice in our home. Seeing her reputation destroyed by people who don't know her has been heartbreaking. She deserves respect, and she deserves peace." Yulong nodded and concluded with a plea. "I ask the public to stop circulating unverified content. Give my wife space to heal. Give our child a safe environment to grow. Words have consequences, and this time, those consequences nearly cost us everything." Yulong bowed again before stepping away from the table. Mei Mei's parents followed close behind, leaving the room in heavy silence. Reporters remained frozen for a moment, processing the severity of what they had just heard. This was no longer a scandal about celebrity attitude. It was the near collapse of a woman pushed to her limits by lies spreading faster than truth. Outside, the buzzing energy that had filled the hospital entrance earlier began to dissipate. The crowd thinned as people slowly realized the magnitude of the damage caused by reckless accusations. Meanwhile, on the 7th floor, inside a dimly lit maternity room, Mei Mei rested with an oxygen line running gently beneath her nose, one hand curled protectively over her abdomen. She didn't yet know the words her husband had spoken for her, or how fiercely he had shielded her in front of millions, but the steady rhythm of her breathing hinted at a small, fragile sense of safety.